Hello everyone, welcome to your backbending yin yoga practice. Should be just a little over 30 minutes long, and you're definitely going to want props today. Something soft, it could even be a sweatshirt or a blanket or a yoga blanket if you have it, may be necessary. You also want to make sure you have your yoga blocks, or you could certainly use a couple of hard covered books so they're really sturdy, or a few pillows. We're going to need to be stacked up in similar to a supported bridge, but we're going to do a little something different from there, but we'll definitely need something to boost us up. When you're ready, today we're going to get started on our bellies. Come on back if you wanted to play some music or have something smelly diffusing or some incense burning. If you want to grab water, if there's anything that you need, go ahead and do that now. And then join me back on your mat, on your belly. Remembering that as we transition to our mats for the first time, and then also from one posture to the next, it's just super slow, super smooth. There's never any time to rush. You've arrived, and now it's time to commit to your practice. So if there are things that you need, maybe a little swing and sway, a little toe tuck, anything that you need before you lie on your belly for the next few minutes, go ahead and take that now. And then when you're ready, you're going to make your way down with me, getting really comfy here for Sphinx pose to begin our class with today. Bringing our forearms down. And from here, we want to give ourselves lots of length. Push out through your toes, bring your top of head long, and then allowing ourselves in our yin postures to really settle and sink. So let's unclench our cheeks, both top and bottom cheeks, and then bring your chest through. And allow your chest to hang heavily. So I feel almost as if I have a shoulder shrug going on. My head can fall wherever. It feels really good. So soft that your heels may feel like they're rolling out. When you're on your belly, it's tough to breathe. It makes things a bit more difficult. So really ensuring that we're slowing down enough that we're feeling those beautiful deep breaths. And we're going to settle in our Sphinx pose. As we arrive in our practice, let's take time to push our agendas, our to-dos, our chores, all of the things off to the side or afterwards, really fully committing to yourself right here and now, giving ourselves the tender, loving care that we so deserve. And then remembering throughout our yin practice as we work through a series of postures, that if you're ever feeling you need some support, something to prop you up, something to make the ground feel softer or make your poses more accessible, please do get those items so that you can really settle in. You can let your head drop all the way down if it feels good for you. If you're really happy here, we're going to stay for the next couple of minutes. But if you'd like to add on a tiny bit, we're transitioning from Sphinx into seal pose. So stretching our arms out to the sides on the diagonal, and our index fingers point a little towards the sides of our mat. And then as we lift ourselves up again, we're going to become really heavy in our chest and belly as if we're shrugging our shoulders towards our ears. Tapping into the lines of energy around either side of our spines. And the liver meridians are back there, so if you ever feel an emotional release in yoga, that's very common. Emotions arise. The liver meridians have to do with fear. So if there's something in your life that maybe you've been suppressing or pushing off to the side, and it tends to pop up now relating to fear. That's such a privilege. When those arrive, let's tend to them. Give yourself the time to really breathe through it so that we can work those emotions out. Just a few more breaths wherever you are. After you finish that last breath, we're going to begin easing out of either our Sphinx or our seal postures. Drawing seal hands back in towards our sides. Bringing hands crossed on top of one another, even if you're in Sphinx, join me here. And rest your forehead on the back of your stacked hands. And just take your toes to the ceiling and swish your legs one side to the other. Allow toes to touch back down on your mat wide, and then turn toes out to the side. Crocodile. And then I just like to swish my hips, my cheeks side to side, like you're jiggling a bowl full of Jell-O. Might work out a little bit of that tension in the low back. And then remember, you do what feels great for you, if there's anything else you need. Otherwise, we're coming back into child's pose. And before your buns hit your heels, it's really nice to give another little swish side to side. There you go. It feels better, right? Moving on to swan pose. So if you like downward facing dog, three-legged dog, into swan, go for it. Let's bring our right leg forward. So for me, I'm just going to tuck my toes and find a tabletop, and then draw my right knee in towards my right elbow, and then allow it to come across. Now this is where we're definitely going to want to get our props. If they feel really great for our swan posture, let's get them. I don't love hard things for this posture, so if you have soft things around, this could be really nice to melt into. Your front shin can be as parallel to your mat as it feels good, parallel to the front of your mat. Your right knee can come out to the right side as much as you need to feel that you can really nestle your hips and groin down towards the floor. And then for this posture, we're going to get our arms strong and sink into the lower half here. We need to build the floor up to give ourselves a little bit of height to really relax deeply. Please do. Otherwise, we're here for just a few minutes. When your back leg is outstretched, this can be really intense. So if you're not able to settle down here, you can fall to your right cheek, draw your back leg into another 90-degree bend in your knee, and just settle here. But we're lifting up and out of the low back. So still staying really high through the torso, the heart, the crown of our heads. Do what feels right for your practice. So if your arms are getting really tired here, they're starting to shake or tremble and it just doesn't feel great, you're welcome to stretch out long over your right knee and find sleeping swan. But for today's practice, we're inviting this length up through the back and little back bends in. So we're going to try to stay lifted. We only have 1 more minute. Wherever we're feeling sensations, let's breathe deep down into those areas. On the end of your next exhalation, we're finding our other side for swan. Now, how do you feel best getting out of here? I like to take my right hand down, draw my back leg in, and then I simply sit back and swish my knees like we've done before for our windshield wipers. Don't mind me turning my back to you or just transitioning for a moment here. So then you'd get over to your left side just by windshield wiping right on around the corner. But if it would feel better for you to come into a downward facing dog, back into your tabletop, that's great. Remember all of your options that you have. Front shin is parallel to the end of your mat as you like it. Back leg bent. And then let's move our left knee in and out so we find a spot where we can really relax our pelvis down while maintaining that beautiful upright posture. Pulling long, top of head from the tailbone, lengthening as we breathe. Finding this really beautiful, strong alignment in our hands to help us up into our back bend. And then feel gravity bringing heaviness down into your pelvis. Deepening your breath, connecting and elongating, trying to find some stillness. And then speaking about emotions a moment ago, I love this little poem from Rumi. It's been translated, but I'd like to share it with you now. It's called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So when those thoughts and emotions arise as you hold these postures, greet them honorably. Each one may be clearing you out for some new delight. That's my favorite line. Once we can get rid of the negative, remove some triggers, expel some trauma, then we leave room for new bright light, bright energy, positivity. Let's take one more big breath in together here. Make it as long as you can. And then again, what do you want to do to get out? So I like to fall to my left cheek, just like the other side. And then I'll draw my back leg in and do a little windshield wipering. But if there's something else, if you just feel called to find your downward facing dog, or your tabletop, or your child's like we did earlier, and roll side to side, that's great. We're gonna find our way up to a kneeling position. I'll show you this from the front and the sides. This is probably where you're gonna want something to sit on. You may or may not. Okay, let's land on our shins. Then we're gonna lean over to the left side and extend our right leg. Now you're welcome to sit right here. I'm on my heel. We're coming into half saddle pose, so you can sit right here. You can come off like it's going to be a hero pose and sit inside your heel. And then this right leg does not have to be straight. We can bring it bent. We can hold on to it. And then to incorporate the back bend, this is where we may need some extra props, soft ones or blocks, whatever makes you happy. Once you find that alignment with the leg bent, if you need blocks behind you, you could set them up like you're going to do a heart bench. The way to find out whether this is going to be necessary or not, all these props, is to lean back on your hands, lean back on your forearms, and hey, if you feel like, oh, I'm super comfy, I could just lay right on back, then do it without the use of your props. But if you need something soft or some blocks to lie back, it's really nice to put one long, north and south on your spine, and then you have this other cozy one right under your head. So as my left knee is pointing down towards the bottom of my mat, I may now be able to straighten my right leg. And then find a beautiful place. I always like palms up for your arms to settle. So that they're heavy, free of any tension or stress. And if this is really not feeling good or you weren't able to make your way down, just stay where we started. Remembering that that tingling, like something fell asleep, is new energy. Those are good feelings. If we have any stabbing, sharp pains, or what feels like electrical shocks, those are pains telling us that we need to back off. So we want to take an easier option or prop ourselves up. You may want something soft underneath your knee, or the front of your ankle may not be used to this, so you might want something soft there. Feeling free to open your arms wide out to the side if that enhances your stretch. I always love that because you're getting this beautiful back bend, but then you also get the bonus of your chest stretch. We just have a little less than a minute left here. So let's take 3 more deep breaths in together. And at the bottom of that last exhalation, we're slowly coming out just the way we came in. Some people like to grab a hold of their left heel to help them up. I just like to try to get my elbows underneath myself, and then I'll tuck my chin to my chest. We never want to leave our necks hanging. Press up through the forearms and rise to hands, and you will feel stiffness after your yin postures. Come out of this by leaning off to the straight leg side. So on this side, we want to lean to the right. And then extend your leg forward. Oh, so if you feel a big tightness in your knee, that's good, that's good. That means we've stretched and we've gotten into the connective tissues. So well done, you do what feels good. I always like to give it a little massage. And then how does it feel right for you to get to the other side? Take as many stretches as you need, but would you just bend your legs straight back? Do you know you can just float to the floor? Or do you want to slowly find your way around? Maybe coming up to your shins and taking a second. We could from here extend our left leg forward. Remember, I could sit on my right heel or come off to the inside of it, like I'm in a half hero pose. And then you're easing your way down when the time feels right for you. So I could need some cushioning under my right knee or my right ankle to make that feel soft before I head down. And remember that I could keep my left knee bent. I could hold on to it here and just hang out up top. But if we're going to go for the back bend, we may want to ease back just a little bit. Ease back a whole bunch. And alternatively, I can just have pillows under to soften myself into, like you're really snuggling in for a nice long break. Or we can reestablish that heart bench posture. Really big pose, so you may not be ready to outstretch your arms just yet. I like to start with them by my side. And trust your supports, knowing that you can infinitely let go here. Our energy, our attention, and our breath goes right to where we're feeling sensation. We have just a little over 2 minutes in this posture, but instead of counting down the time, let's try counting up our breaths. Our goal by the end of our yin yoga practice would be to establish longer breaths than what we started with. So here's a great time while we're resting to check in. Find that little tiny pause in between your in and your out breaths, that moment of perfect stillness. Let's see if we can make our exhalation twice as long as our inhalation. Two more really slow, long breaths in together. See if you can reach to the very tips of your extremities with this breath. And at the very bottom of that last exhalation, really slowly make your way back up. You might like to hold your right hand on your right heel to help you. I like to tuck my chin first, remember, so your neck doesn't ever feel compromised there. Take your time, there's no rush. Remember that we're going to lean to the side that's not bent, so to our left side, to let this leg come out, and then really slowly maybe give it some love. Let it extend forward, or if it needs to stay bent for a second, and then do what you need. Try to wiggle your toes slowly, move your ankle, massage your knee, your quad, your upper thigh, whatever you need. Okay, so what do you need to get rid of anything that's not serving you right now? Let's do that before we move on. When your body feels really good, we're coming into a supported bridge posture. This is where you're going to need several pillows or a block. Have it right next to you so that once we get there, we can prop ourselves up. Hands to the thighs to roll down, or hold on to your thighs and roll down to your backs for this one. Heels are coming in close to our buns, and then we take our props, whatever we want, underneath our low back, underneath our pelvis, just wherever you're really comfy and you feel propped up. Rising up into bridge, and then getting this underneath so you feel really comfy. Okay, supported bridge may be where you want to stay today. Otherwise, supported half frog is where we're heading. And it's the same thing we just did with our legs. So let's get our left leg and tuck it under. If we can reach it, we're gonna try to reach and then tuck to the tops of our feet, right under, so that our knee points towards the bottoms of our mats. And then our right leg could stay bent. Our right leg can extend out. Can you see that posture there? And once again, if this is a really hard floor for you, we may need to put a little something underneath the top of our left foot. Arms can stretch up and overhead if that feels great for your sides. Otherwise, wherever they're really comfy. And if it's too much on your low back with your right leg extended, do what I did and rebend. Now, some people like to take their bent knee out to the side. So my right leg that's bent is just kind of flopping out to the side. We want to be really heavy, relaxed, and cozy here. A little shorter hold on this one, Yogi, so we can get into my very favorite back stretch at the end. Take some big breaths in. You're nearly there. Remembering to envision that smile in your mind's eye, or hearing a little giggle, something that will make you feel lighter and happier when your postures get tricky and challenging. You're welcome to leave your postures whenever necessary if something gets to be too much. But otherwise, we're going to try one more really big breath in here. One more full exhalation, no rush. And then if your right knee had a little flop out to the side, let's bring that back towards the midline of our bodies. Your right leg was straight, rebend. Reach down and allow your left top of foot to escape that. Then do what feels good. So if you feel like you might need to bring it into your chest, or you just want to rock around through your ankle, we're staying right where we are unless you need to roll off to the side. If you do, take your supports away, roll down, do what feels good. But otherwise, let's try the other side. Right knee bend so that we can grab the top of our right foot and place it on the ground next to us for half frog. So you can see I'm going to move my arms overhead. Left leg would extend out here if it feels good. If it stays bent, it might want to flop on out right there to the left side. Definitely feels good. Now, if it's really intense, we don't love this right toe tucking under. Remember, supported bridge where we just were. You can extend both legs out in supported bridge. Arms overhead to lengthen out a little bit. We might be feeling new sensations in the tops of our right feet. Might not be a place that you put a lot of pressure. We normally don't stretch our ankles this big, right? So we're breathing into those areas, feeling the newness, feeling the energy. That's all positive vibes coming our way. Love that. Is there a place that you can let go right now? Maybe it's just in the tips of your fingers or your left toes. Maybe it's in the creases around the corners of your eyes. I always find that my jaw could use a little undoing, separating the back, bottom teeth from the top. Now let your tongue rest heavily on the bottom of your mouth, the back of your bottom teeth. You might like to see your breath as a parachute in the top of your mouth, inflating and deflating. Let's try one more big, beautiful breath in together. Really slowing down if you can. Your left knee, if it flopped out, bring it back to the midline. If your left leg was straight, rebend. And you just may be able to flick your right toes back out. I like to do it really slowly, so I like to grab my foot. If you can reach, do that. Let it come out, and then whatever your body just does is where you should go. Let an organic movement come in here. For mine, it's like the ankle gets most, sometimes the knee, so I might manually massage my knee. Of course, my back is feeling it. That's the big goal here, but I like to wiggle through my toes, move my ankle. When I'm ready, I come back to that supported bridge. This time, boost up through your heels so you can lift a little and remove whatever supports you had under your low back. Now, yogis, let's come down slowly here, feeling it in our backs, right? So what would feel really great? Constructive rest, widening our feet, letting our knees steeple together. Our tried and true windshield wipers, would that be you? Go for it. We're finishing off of our practice today with lying spinal twists. So once you feel free and clear in your low back again, let's gather up our knees. And our lying twist is knees to one side then the other. But if you want to make it a little more challenging, we're going to take eagle knees. Let's just check in first. Spread your arms wide and allow your knees to fall over to your left side. Now remember, if it gets to be really difficult, we put any props under, any amount of props under. And this may be really great, right? You could have a prop under your feet too. Whatever you need, yogis. But if you went all the way to the floor and you're feeling like, okay, that's good, I could use a little more there, then let's rise back to the sky. If your back still feels tender, you can turn to the fetal position and roll back up as one unit. You're going to cross your right leg over the left, maybe tap your toes down and shift your hips a bit to the right, and then allow your knees to re-fall over to the left side. We made it. Eye gaze would look to the right to finish this twist. However you feel really good. Arms are spread really wide. You may not love that. If that feels too vulnerable, bring your hands and give yourself a loving hug. Rest your hands on your top thigh. Do whatever, guys. This is your practice, your time to really love on yourself. The epitome, in my opinion, of self-care is this yin yoga practice. So do what feels right for you in this very moment. Feeling a bit like a wash rag here, really wringing out through the low back. Where you're feeling that sensation, try to breathe deep down into that area. Envision your in-breath as a beautiful release, like a gentle breeze, just sweeping away any knots of tension, any blockages, any negativity, any toxic energy, any tightness. Just a few more breaths in here. Let's see if we can't lengthen these last few. Bigger than the beginning. When we first got twisted, it was tough to breathe. Now that we're easing in, let's find our way into some really restorative breaths. You're always welcome to stay longer, but when you're finished that last breath, you need to decide how we're going to get out of here. Your low back feels really tender. Turn on over to your left side. Uncross your knees, bring them both bent, and then you can roll up as one unit here. If you felt great where you were, feel free just to bring your eagle pose knees right on back. Take a second in constructive rest. Let's see about tending to our other side. I really advise checking in first without just kind of getting into your eagle legs. This is a different side, so let's see how we feel by dropping our knees to our right side. Saying, do we need some props? It may even be a pillow or something in between our knees, under our knees, under our feet, whatever you need. If you felt really great there and you know you want that little extra, cross your left knee over your right for eagle, and then I like to tap my feet down, shift my hips to the left, and let knees fall to the right. So if I was to look down my body, my shoulders and my hips are in a nice long line. Feels really big in the beginning, right? So we could start with supports and end without them. But to really enhance this twist, let's take our eyes to the left side. And then see if you can melt your shoulder girdle in. Melt down through your facial features, the back of your neck, down through the backs of your arms and your palms. Simply breathe. Be present in the moment, the sensations, the releases. If your body started to let you in and you had some props, see if you can go without them. Maybe take one away or just lower the setting, make it a little less supportive. Let your body go a little deeper. Three more breaths in here together. Extending just a bit longer on the exhalation. Really emptying. Notice the pause. Inhaling and seeing if we can sip just an extra little bit of air in at the top. Notice the pause. Release. When you're done with your posture, let's see how we can get out. So if we need a little bit of support, we've gotten really deep and this is a tough place to exit, uncross your legs. Turn all the way over to your right side. And then roll back to center as one unit. If you feel like you're ready to go for it, just bring your eagle pose legs back up. One final time checking in with our steeple knee posture, constructive rest, our windshield wipers. Whatever you need, take a moment to observe. And then the most important part, our relaxation, our shavasana at the end. You're welcome to experience it in whatever way feels best for you. If we're ready to come on out into a more traditional alignment, arms and legs would spread wide away from midsection. Or find any other place to quietly rest and breathe into the spaces we've created, the changes we've made, the openings. I encourage you to stay where you are for 3 to 5 minutes. At a minimum, if possible, stay even longer. I'll leave you to your Shavasana today. Well done on your back bending yin yoga practice. Namaste, yogis, until we meet again.